Hello and welcome to this special programming on the Republic Day. First of all, a very happy Republic Day to all our viewers from the entire team of NDTV Profit. Now, as India celebrates the 77th year of the Constitution from the historic Kartavya Path in New Delhi, the nation has witnessed a spectacular display of military might, cultural richness, and also unbreakable unity of the country. Now, the parade showcases military strength, cultural diversity, and also developmental priorities of the nation. This year, the Republic Day truly matters as India is seen as a key geopolitical and also the economic pillar. What made the Republic Day this year diplomatically historic was the presence of the Duel chief guests from European Union, Antonio Costa, who's the president of the European Council, and also Ursula von der Leyen, who's the president of the European Commission. Now, their presence underscores the deepening India-EU strategic partnership and shared commitment to democracy, security, and global progress. Now, to deep dive into what India really stands for at the current moment and the strengths of India amidst a global chaos, let me welcome on the show a team of experts to decipher just this. Let me welcome Sohail Seth, who's the author, actor, and a marketing maven. Navroop Singh, a lawyer, author, and a geopolitical expert. Hitesh Jain, who's the managing partner at Parinam Law Associates and also former member of Law Commission. Gentlemen, so good to have you on NDTV Profit. Hitesh, beginning with you, at the current moment, India has taken a lot of strides as one of the largest democracies of the world. On the occasion of this Republic Day, it also means a symbolic defense prowess and also how we really show up against a global order which is currently chaotic. How do we see our strengths and the significance of this Republic Day?
Thank you, Nisha, and happy Republic Day to all the viewers of NDTV Profit. As we look at the start of 2026, we are looking at something at the global position at something what I call as strategic fragmentation. We see trade wars in the West and we are seeing geopolitical shift in the East. But amidst all the chaos, what we are also noticing that India is not just an observer in this chaos, but India has emerged as an anchor. Now, as someone who's looked at the country and also from the lens when I was at the Law Commission of India, I see the resilience of this country on three important pillars. First is the economic velocity with the stability. The second takeaway is the digital democratization. And third, we are not the rule takers, but we have also emerged as the rule makers. And this is reflected from the slew of reforms that were introduced last year and the continuing pace at which reforms and the intent of the government is seeing. Yes, it's a question of people may say whether it is a half glass full or a half glass empty. But I think definitely there is a lot of scope for the further reforms. But I think the trajectory at which India is emerging, and if you would have seen the recent IMF for growth forecast and the historical rating upgrade given by S&P, I think these are all very positive factors. And therefore, I say India is emerged not just as an observer, but anchor amidst this global chaos.
That's right. In fact, the biggest takeaway coming in from you, Hitesh, and you've been closely on the watch on the political arena as well. Well, this is the main thing, that India is not just a sideshow. India is one of the key proponents and a key player at the world stage right now. So Sohail Seth, what does this particular moment really mean? India is clearly at an inflection stage when the global world order is changing very fast.
India is not a republic alone. We're a civilizational legacy. So let's make that distinction. We're not a recent country like the United States, or we're not fragmented and fractured like Europe is. And I think because of the civilizational legacy aspect of India, we are more rooted. Today, the global order is crumbling because you have a maniac in office in the United States, but that too shall pass. But what happens after that? I think what Donald J. Trump is doing is he's resetting the global order, but actually causing the greatest damage to the United States. They have now successfully managed to alienate the entire world, including all their allies. They have made NATO into a springboard of fractured derision and division. We come across as a calming influence and as leaders of the global south, if you were to call it that. But people now look at India. And here I have to say, Narendra Modi's done a fabulous job. First, by not replying to every tantrum that was thrown his way by Donald Trump. And second, by continuing to march ahead on an economic platform and on the economic front. Today, the Republic Day parade is not a parade alone. It's not about just weaponization and weaponry. It's about the progress, the pride, the resilience, and the eternal character of India's strength, both economically and militarily. These are therefore the important springboards to analyze India from. This is not a bragging parade. This is telling the world that, look, this is who we are. A, B, the fact that you have Ursula and you have Antonio there tells you that diplomatically also we are realigning the world. See, the important thing, Nisha, is in leadership, you have to play with the front foot. You have to bat ahead. You can't be following the leaders. And I think in that respect also, we've done a great job. But we needn't be arrogant.
Yes.
We needn't be smug. And we needn't be glum. We must continue to be who we are, which is resilient with humility, compassionate with purpose, and diligent with absolute intense focus.
That's right, Suhail. Many takeaways from there, but the biggest talking point of today and the key highlight of our Republic Day celebrations has been the opportunity to also build alliances. The clear two-pronged strategy, I hope the team here really joining me of experts really, are in sync on one particular aspect, that there is a two-pronged strategy, why political as well as economic diplomacy on trade negotiations with US is going on. On the other hand, several other FTAs being built and alliances being built with other countries is also safeguarding the interests of the country. Navroop Singh, expert on geopolitical affairs. Navroop, critical to note Antonio as well as Ursula's presence as chief guests for this Republic Day and just ahead of the India-EU FTA that is very closely watched out for. Your take?
First of all, wishing everyone a very happy Republic Day to all your viewers and all my co-panelists. And I would like to only say that much, that India and this Republic Day marks a very distinct departure because this is about India asserting its kind of a strategic autonomy in geopolitically, as well as we are sending a message across to the world. If you talked about India-EU FTA. So if we talk about India-EU FTA, so that's, we've got the exemption for agriculture, with New Zealand for dairy, we've got deals closed up with United Kingdom, with Oman, and like yesterday I heard the tariffs are going to come down on the European auto makers from around 110 to 40%, and then down to 10%. So that opens up a huge block for India where we can trade. And we also send a strategic message to Donald Trump's America that, look, we have a particular deal to offer you. You want to take it or you want to leave it. India is not going to wait for Donald J. Trump to respond. We are going to march forward. We are going to make deals with countries across the world, with partners like European Union, which represent a significant block of consumers and trading blocks. So that is the way we are going to hedge. That is the way you have French President Macron coming to India and probably will sign the Rafale deal along with him. Then you probably have Prime Minister Carney from Canada coming to India. So you recently had the German Chancellor Mr. Merz visiting India. Now you have the European bosses over in India. So India is giving a message out to the world. and specifically to Donald Trump's America, that we are not going to be boxed in by your trade wars, by your tariff wars. And India on its 77th Republic Day is giving that message of we are seeking to give a stable leadership. We are define our own rules, define our own values, and we are going to abide by that. We are not going to be dictated by what happens in Washington or London or Brussels.
That's right. In fact, many of these aspects will really change the way the world order is, and also our regional alliance and solidarity has been one of the key factors. Our relationships with China in the wake of the way US tariff war has been waging on for almost 1 year. Hitesh, jump in on this. With EU trade agreement, with the kind of relations we have with other countries, with now not being at loggerheads with China, what is the world order that we are looking forward to and India's role in that?
Well, I think as far as India is concerned, and when we look at EU, FTA and everything, India is no longer just a market to enter. It is a place to enter and also a partner to trust. If you will look at the world order, you are looking at the trusted partners. You are looking upon reliability. You are looking upon stability. You are looking about somebody who is going to anchor. You are looking at a partner whom you can trust. What you can see in today's geopolitical situation, there is a trust deficit because everyone is behaving in the manner what suits for them. I don't think India has behaved in that fashion. Even if you will look at our diplomacy, we have not looked at diplomacy in silos. We have looked at the holistic picture, and this is not a recent phenomena where we have changed our track in the last 6 months. Our behavior has been consistent. If you will, the behavior was noticed during the Ukraine-Russia conflict and the position of the global powers. And imagine what the position of Europe was, and from where we look at today, the European Union putting a red carpet and also claiming that India is a partner to trust. I think that itself gives a huge message to everyone. Look at the statements coming from the European Union during the Russia-Ukraine conflict and regarding the Indian position, and look at the European Union now calling India as a partner to trust. I think we have come a long way ahead.
That's right. And in fact, self-reliance, Atmanirbhar Bharat, these are some of the things that have come in even before the geopolitical tensions as well as this global turmoil really coming in. So he'll say it. There are 2-3 important areas. The technological prowess that we have for the new age sector, especially in the semiconductor space, where India was very fast in putting some action for our own self-reliance. In the last 1 year, we have seen huge focus on defense. Recently in Davos, Ashwini Vaishnav's important comment rebuffing the government, the global understanding of India's AI prowess was also very well watched, and India is seen as one of the strong states which is coming in with all its powers. Putting all this together, how do you see the economic and the business aspects of India putting India at the forefront on the global map?
Let me say some nice, harsh things for a change. Rather than this whole goddamn rara thing, everything is hunky-dory. We are miserable when it comes to innovation. We keep tom-tomming, we're a great software power, blah, blah, blah. Why haven't we created a Facebook? Why didn't we create a Google? The problem, Nisha, is we are terrible at innovation. We have a ridiculously miserable ecosystem to promote innovation, to promote startups. The ease of business is still lagging behind. Let's be honest. Everything can't be good. We banging our chests saying that there is a triumph of humanity. No. There are some realities that we need to contend with. We do not have the kind of ease of business that you need fertile minds to operate in to create a world order in terms of technology. We have brilliant people, but so what? Number 2, our urban infrastructure sucks. We have miserable cities, poor planning, people don't want to come. I mean, look at what's happening to Delhi. Look what's happening in Gurugram. You have a bunch of jokers actually running these places who don't even care for basic civil and civic amenities. Now, people want to look at all of those things. You can't have a city which is home to global CEOs, let's say Gurugram, which shuts down every monsoon and shuts down at the drop of a drop. So these are things we need to be worried about. We need to worry about the fact that if we want to be a global superpower economically, our people must live well, our cities must work, and they must be allowed to function as proper cities and not as functional slums. The other point here is, the Prime Minister, to my mind, has done an amazing job in terms of marketing India. But look around, Nisha. How many Indian brands have actually gone global? So for all the marketing prowess we keep talking about, we are terrible at marketing. Even if you look at tourism,
Yes.
I mean, it's a goddamn shame that we have less tourists per year than the city of Paris. So take a reality check. ये नहीं कि भाई हमारे ही सारे लाटू लगे हुए हैं, सारे bulbs हमारे पे लगे हुए हैं, and we are the greatest country on the planet. No.
Right.
Take the goddamn reality check.
Yes.
Tourism
So
is a large economic generator of employment. Tourism
Absolutely.
is miserable because you again have a bunch of jokers who in government who think they know everything about tourism. They have no clue.
Right.
What did the Prime Minister do? WED in India, to my mind, was the most important strategic imprint on tourism in India.
That's right.
Have we taken it forward? No. Even today, Nisha, and you should run this campaign, hotels and hospitality is not recognized as an industry, which has an impact on how they apply for loans.
While a
So
lot
my
of our
advice to you
smaller
would be-
cities are actually dependent on tourism as the
Look at
most
Indore,
important economy.
cleanest city, people are
Yes.
dying of rat poisoning or sewage poisoning.
So, Suhail,
take a reality-
many aspects, the basics of livelihood as well as living conditions, that needs to be improved, and that's where the government's, impact has to really come in. And as something as basic as the air we breathe in. Hitesh, you have any rebuttal to the comments that were made by Suhail?
Well, I begin this debate by saying whether you can call as a glass half full or glass empty. I think Sohail has made some valid points. I think it's a work in a progress. The urgency is required. I think when you look at the urban development is definitely going to be an issue. The issues like pollutions or the issues like the traffic problems and the city coming to shut down. Of course, these are the most important issues. They are getting addressed. And that is the reason, if you will see, the focus of the government has been on the infrastructure reforms. And when we are talking, and recently the Prime Minister yesterday, when he spoke in the Mann Ki Baat, it is about the execution and it is also about the quality. It is not about the typical chalta hai attitude ki sab chalta hai is desh mein. So it is about the quality of the execution at which we must take pride for. Ultimately, when we speak about Viksit Bharat, it is the government can do a
Glass being half full, I totally agree. What
Yes.
is the state of the judiciary in India? How many
Right.
pending cases do we have? The
So-
Supreme Court, which was a court of precedence, has been transformed into a court where bail is being applied for. So
Right.
you tell me, of the four pillars of any institution, where are we on the judiciary? What has happened?
Right.
What have they been able to do?
Suhail, that point
Let's take
very
a reality
well.
check. This being, sab kuch theek hai.
Yes.
See, the problem in India is
I
we as
quite
citizens
agree.
are in denial. We are in
All right.
denial.
All right. So many steps need to be taken. And yes, you have raised some very important points. But let me also welcome on the show Krishna Punya, who's a former athlete, Olympian, as well as now a politician, Shaina NC, fashion designer, as well as politician and social activist. So this particular discussion without women power was not possible. In fact, Shaina, on this Republic Day, the strengths of India as you see it.
Well, I think that genuinely where we have achieved, whether it's foreign strategy, whether it's the global diaspora, the growth of India, and the Prime Minister's vision of a Viksit Maharashtra and a Viksit Bharat is a reality. Now, if you take even a simple incident where people were criticizing the kind of engagement of India at Davos. You take a state like Maharashtra, 30 lakh crores worth of MOUs where the foreign direct investment has been for the belief of the stable good governance in Maharashtra, which is part of a roadmap and a progressive India. So, a state like Maharashtra, where I come from, you've had 55-60% of realization of all these MOUs. And that is not just in the manufacturing sector. It is vis-a-vis technology, AI, infrastructure. I think that the sky is the limit for those who choose to be a part of this growth trajectory.
That's right.
And if we talk about national security, a lot has been said by your panelists, so I choose not to repeat that. But having said that, you take the infrastructure projects, which are growing at the speed of lightning, the timelines which are met with. I think this is all a vision plan of Prime Minister Modi, and I'm glad as part of the NDA, we all are, contributing in whichever way possible.
The way infrastructure has developed, and especially in the city of Mumbai, where we both reside, we have seen remarkable work being done. If the government really puts it on the agenda, we have seen that they have that strength, if only it comes on their radar. Krishna Punya, former athlete, now this discussion is not over without the women empowerment as well as their rise when it comes to sports arena. We also, our Indian women in blue really won the World Cup. So Krishna Punya, one word on how in sports women are now taking lead and what it means for women empowerment of the country.
निशा जी और सभी पैनलिस्ट को सबसे पहले रिपब्लिक डे की शुभकामनाएं बताई और जी थैंक यू। मैं कहना चाहूंगी कि महिलाओं के लिए जो स्पोर्ट्स में आज जो रिमार्केबल जो अचीवमेंट्स रही हैं, चाहे आप साइना नेहवाल की बात करें, साक्षी मलिक की बात करें, पीवी सिंधु की बात करें और मैं कहूंगी कि मीराबाई चानू की बात करें, तो जब ये महिलाएं ओलंपिक जैसे प्लेटफॉर्म पर जब मेडल जीतती हैं तो उनसे मोटिवेट होकर आज हजारों लाखों बच्चियां हमारी फील्ड में उतरी हुई हैं और अपने आप को आप देख सकती हैं कि एशियन गेम, कॉमनवेल्थ गेम पे बहुत सारी लड़कियों ने लड़कों के बराबर पदक जीते हैं। और आज अगर विमेन एम्पावरमेंट की बात की जाए तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि स्पोर्ट्स जो है महिला सशक्तिकरण और आत्मनिर्भरता का प्रतीक बन गया है, ये मैं जरूर कहना चाहूंगी। और हमारी महिलाएं जो है वो स्पोर्ट्स में बहुत अच्छा कर रही हैं और बहुत अच्छा आगे करेगी,
बहुत अच्छा करेंगी और बहुत कुछ रियली हमने अचीव किया है। और लास्ट एक साल में फ्रॉम दैट लास्ट रिपब्लिक डे टू दिस रिपब्लिक डे, our women cricket team's lead on the international front has been one of the biggest achievements that India has also got, which also reflects on the empowerment of women in the country. At least personally, I will bet on that. But completely out of time on this very interesting discussion. Lots more to discuss, but maybe another time. Suhail Seth, Navroop Singh, Hitesh Jain, Krishna Punya, Shaina NC, thank you so much for joining with all your expert take on this important day of Republic Day of India. With that, I wish all of you a very happy Republic Day and thanks so much for tuning in to NDTV Profit.